No matter how good the food is, if the service is terrible, you're not going back to that restaurant. G'day guys, it's Pete here from Clinic Mastery, and in today's video, what I want to talk to you about is a recent experience I had at a restaurant. I was actually out with my partner for a birthday dinner, and I've got to say, the food was outstanding, like absolutely unbelievable Italian food, and oh, you cannot go wrong. But the service was, I would say, terrible. Like, it was wild to see two completely different ends of the spectrum. And it really makes you think about business, right? Because you can absolutely nail let's think about when you go out to a restaurant. The key thing you think about is the food, right? What do you want to eat? What's the cuisine you want, right? And they can nail that so well, but they can drop the ball on the service. And the whole experience was terrible because that's exactly what happened. We would order a basic drink, a beer, and it would take 20 to 25 minutes to come out. In fact, something you ordered 5 minutes ago would come out before that. And then when you'd remind them, they kind of make you feel bad for reminding them, be like, yes, of course it's coming. But and I've worked in restaurants before, and I know exactly what happens. You go, oh, damn, forgot to order that one. We'll just go chuck that one through now and get that out. So there were multiple instances of this, multiple instances of them just not coming over, not servicing. And I know what you might be thinking, Pete, was it just really busy that evening? And no, it wasn't. It was a relatively quiet evening as well. But even if it were, you want to think about how can we create the system so that no matter what is happening, even if it's really busy, because you want the restaurant, you want the business to be busy, that the service is outstanding each and every single time. So relate this back to your clinic now, right? Imagine you can give the best clinical care, you can get great outcomes. But if people feel really bad about the service, they don't feel like they're welcome, they feel like certain elements of the service are really, really lacking that make them feel like you don't care about them, the likelihood that they come back is far lower. Okay. So your therapist can do a great job, but everything else can drop. What does that actually look like? Okay, now to give you an example of this, someone who doesn't want to come back into the clinic, rather than saying, look, I felt the admin team didn't really care. I felt like the process was clunky, the parking was really bad, nothing really seemed to be smooth, the person was running late, etc. They just say, oh, I don't have my diary on me. I'll rebook. I'll give you a call when I get home. I'll rebook then. Or they call up, they get a cancel. They say, I'm sorry, I've got to work. And you say, well, the admin team says, well, why don't we reschedule that one? And they say, don't call me, I'll call you type thing. When I look at my diary, I'll rebook. These are the things that happens when they don't like confrontation. So they don't want to tell you that they're canceling for something that they weren't happy about, but they don't want to come back. That's what it looks like. So think about this now in your clinic. Let's break down your initial consult, but not so much the consult, the experience before, during, and after. So let's say someone jumps on your website and they're going to book. They're looking for a solution to a problem. Firstly, how fast does your website load? So frustrating. When you jump on a website and it doesn't load, what do? You leave, you go to the next one. How fast does that website load? How clear is it that you can solve their problem? What are the main problems people come to you for? And how immediately clear is it without them even having to scroll top of the fold, right? I've seen some good examples for people who work with pain, physios, osteos, chiros. Your pain is our priority. We get you out of pain fast, live pain free. Depending on your business as to what's going to be important for you to have sitting above the fold here. Then how easy is the booking process? Are they booking online? Do you want them to call? Do you want them to fill out a referral form? Right? How easy and simple is that? Okay, then once that's done, what is the communication with them? Do they then get an email to confirm that? Do they get a text message as well? Will someone be giving them a call? What does that look like to welcome them in, make it as easy and as simple as possible? If you're working with people with a disability, do you have really clear instructions on disability access and where they can park? Think about all of these things that are going to happen before the person even comes. Now, for a lot of people coming into a healthcare clinic can be a little bit daunting at times. So how do we de-threaten that? Do we give them a welcome call? Do we have a really nice welcome email? In the welcome email, do we have a video inviting them or sort of welcoming them to the practice? Is it done by the practitioner that they're going to see? Is it done by the practice manager, the clinic director? So thinking about these key things as well. When people come into the practice for the first time, from the second they walk through the front door, what does it look like to them? What does it feel like? And a really good exercise for you to do is actually for you to go through the booking process yourself. Call, give the clinic a call from a mobile. See how long it takes someone to answer. See how they answer the phone. Basically, be your own secret shopper. And if your voice is very obvious, get a friend to do it. Okay. And listen in on that one. It can be really, really useful to understand what's actually happening. When you go into the clinic, sit down where your clients sit, because from that perspective, you'll notice things that you don't normally notice from where you normally walk through the clinic. Think about, what does it smell like? What does it sound like? Okay. How clean is everything, right? Just what is the overall feeling? And just little things like, when someone walks in, does the admin team smile and say, sit down over here? If they're busy on the phone, do they at least look up, smile, and say, I'll be with you in just a second? Little things like this can make a really big difference to people's experience. If the practitioner is running late, it happens. Ideally not, but if they're running late, are we letting them know, hey, your practitioner's just running 5 minutes behind? They're just running 10 minutes behind. Is that okay? Can I get you a tea, a coffee, a water, whatever it may be? But just so people aren't sitting there waiting forever and ever. If I think back to my experience going to the GP, I love my GP, but I can be sitting there for 45, 60 minutes sometimes, and there's no updates, there's no nothing. And I'm just wondering, how long am I going to be sitting here in perpetuity? Oh, I got a meeting coming up soon. Will I just have to cancel and leave? It's the uncertainty that really sucks. If when I got there, they said, look, he's running an hour late. We're really sorry, but he'll be with you in 1 hour. At least I know. All right, cool. I can bring that meeting forwards. I can take that meeting now, whatever it may be. It gives you certainty. And then after that session, make sure everything is as smooth as possible. So the practitioner comes out, have they rebooked in the room, or are they rebooking with the admin team? How can we make that handover as smooth as possible for the practitioner? Saying goodbye is really, really nice to meet you today. It's great to work with you, and I'm looking forward to working with you again on Tuesday next week, whatever it may be. Hand over to the admin team. The admin team takes it from there, smiles, goes through the invoice or whatever the process is as they leave, nice and smooth, and then gives them the instructions for their next session. And then after that, are we following up after the initial session? How are we following up? Is it an email? Is it a text message? Are we following up with a phone call? Whatever it may be, these are key points in that journey. And most of the things that we've talked about today have nothing to do with the clinical outcomes at all. It's all everything built around that. Because I'm going to trust that what you do at your clinic from a clinical perspective is fantastic. So let's think outside of that. How can we make the experience amazing? Because great clinical outcomes and average service mean that people feel like you're not a great clinic, you're not a great business. But great clinical outcomes and great client experiences, people love that. People will become raving fans. People will tell their friends and family to come. Okay. That's what we want to create. And so as you're growing your clinic, think about, how can we systemize each and every one of these touch points so that even if it's busy, even if it's a hectic day, every single person who comes in feels cared for and feels like they're in the right place.